Hi folks, I hope all of you are doing very well. We are doing the book review of Sadhguru's book titled Karma. So far we have seen 4 chapters and we could understand many things. Today we will see what he has to tell us in the 5th chapter. Okay. Now the heading given to the 5th chapter is, how did it all begin? You see, in 4 chapters, Sadhguru has been telling us about karma, memory, different types of karma, and how we are inheriting all our karma, not karmas, all what is there in our genes, how we are inheriting it from our forefathers, from our ancestors. It's all through genes. See, what are the experiences they had undergone in the olden days. All those experiences are passed on in the form of memory. In the form of memory. Through what? Through genes. These are all passed on through genes. Okay, so that is one thing. Then, so here in this chapter, he talks about the origin of life. You know, as a science graduate and postgraduate, we have done in detail about the theories of evolution, origin of life, the Big Bang theory, and so on. That time itself I used to enjoy reading more and more about the origin of life. Okay, evolution. What Charles Darwin had to say about evolution. He was the first one to talk about evolution. It is not that in 7 days God created one after the other. It has happened through millions of years in small stages. Okay, so that is evolution. You all know it. Now, let us look at it from Sadhguru's perspective. You see, the heading is, how did it all begin? Okay, in 4 chapters we have discussed about the different kinds of karma, law of karma, and so on. And what I am extremely happy about is, even before starting this book review, we have discussed all these things in our videos. So now this is the double dose we are getting now, okay, by doing the book review. But anyway, going through his book is also very useful for us, because he is a mystic. Sadhguru is a mystic. Sadhguru is an ascetic. He is a yogi. Okay, so if we learn something through his words, definitely it will be of some use to us. Okay, so here, how did it all begin? Did you ever think about it? See, we talk about ancestors, we talk about so many things. In the Stone Age, how did they live? Then how did they come to know about the usage of, how did they create the fire? How did they make use of the fire? No, in olden days, people never used to wear anything. They were also like animals. After that, they started hiding their private parts by using big leaves. Like that, then they, all the stories, isn't it? So, right from time immemorial, the people have experienced many things, and all these things are packed as capsules of memories. They are all packed and passed on from generation to generation through genes. Okay, now, okay, so far so good. But what is the beginning? Where is the beginning? How is the beginning? Did you ever think? See, during our studies in college days, we had many debates. There is another famous debate, where did the chick come first or did the egg come first? It's an unending debate. Like that, this is not a debatable one. It is an inquiry as to how all these things started. From where did it start? That is how very beautifully he has given the heading as such, like this. How did it all begin? So we have to touch upon Adam and Eve. We have to touch upon the Big Bang theory. We have to touch upon evolution. Then we have to give the due credit to Charles Darwin. Okay, so all these things he is explaining in his book. And I will tell you in a nutshell how he is explaining this. You see, Sadhguru talks about Lord Shiva as the creator. Now, in many places, he has described this story. In many of his books, I have read it. And, I told you, I attended a 8-day silent program in Isha Yoga Center at Coimbatore. And all the 8 days, silence, complete silence. And we were expected to use all in white only. White dress, white pillow cover, white bed sheet, white bed cover. Some people had even put some white paper around these places of the specs. White handbag, white kerchief, everything white. He insists on that. And though all the 8 days he took class by himself. He was the only person to handle the class. He never assigned any work to anybody. But in the beginning of the program, nearly for half a day, we were given a lot of music. Songs were played, instruments were played, to get into the mood of becoming silent. Okay, and see, I also told you about the music album created by Isha Yoga Center, that is Sounds of Isha. And there are many songs on Lord Shiva. And all those songs which I had heard earlier in the YouTube were played on that day. I was really enjoying all those things. Then in the afternoon, Sadhguru came. And he said, for anything, you start with paying obeisance to your God, whom you love the most. Like that, you might have heard a lot of songs sung on Shiva, because Shiva is my favorite God. He openly declared. He feels that way, so he says. Okay, so the story, how did it begin? How did it all begin? What is the source of the beginning? So he talks about the creator and the creation. Who is the creator? Lord Shiva is the creator. Okay, in Vedas and Puranas, they say that Lord Brahma is the creator, but generally Lord Shiva is considered as the creator. So, in the beginning, there was total emptiness. There was total emptiness. Nothing was there. Total emptiness. And Shiva, the word Shiva, it means nothing. Nothing means no thing. No thing is nothing. And Lord Shiva, who is the creator, represents nothing. There is vacuum, there is vacant place. And that vacant place is considered as, it is called, or it is named as Vettaveli. Paraveli. In Tamil, they say Vettaveli, Paraveli, emptiness. See, you look at the sky, you go up, up, up. What is there? There is nothing. Isn't it? So, the word Shiva means nothing. So, and he also says that Lord Shiva is the creator. That means, from where did it all begin? It began from Lord Shiva, because Lord Shiva is the creator. Very simple. Okay. And so, in the beginning, what might have happened then? That is, Lord Shiva was just lying down. No action. And actually, Lord Shiva depicts, or he shows, or his body language is stillness. If he is always in meditation, and he exemplifies stillness. That's how Sadhguru also says that if you want to sit for meditation, you should be able to sit at least for 3 hours in stillness. You train your body to sit like that. Minimum 2.5 hours to 3 hours you should sit in stillness, because Lord Shiva is always in the meditative pose, in the meditative state. So, Shiva means stillness, nothingness. So, Shiva was just lying like that, without no motion, no action, nothing. Then Shakti came, Goddess Shakti came. She stimulated Lord Shiva. By stimulating Lord Shiva changed himself into a big linga, in the shape of the lingam. That is why in most of the Shiva temples, see, if you go to North India, the face of Lord Shiva is like the face of a man with moustache, everything. Whereas down south, mostly we worship Lord Shiva only in the form of Shivaling. And that is how the Shivaling, the shape of the Shivaling is equal to, or it is considered similar to the male organ, the penis. Okay, so when on getting stimulated by Shakti, Lord Shiva changed himself into a big linga, and that is how the union between Lord Shiva and Parvati happened. And from that time, that moment marks the beginning of creation. And at the time of creation, 2 things appeared. One is sound, the other is light. Okay, sound and light. And the same story is only explained by the scientists as the Big Bang theory. So when creation started, a big sound came, and that sound is the Big Bang theory. Okay, so the yogic culture explains the origin as Sadhguru says, and the scientists also explain the origin of this cosmos, not origin of the earth, origin of the cosmos, origin of the universe. Because this is a small world. Okay, our world is a small speck. Like that, millions and millions of worlds are there. What we refer to as the cosmos or the universe. Okay, and all these things got created by the union of Lord Shiva and Shakti Parvati. And at that time, see, Sadhguru goes on to say 2 concepts. One is intelligence leading to memory during the time of creation, and all the create all the creatures, we consider the memory as intelligence. That is, at the time of the origin of creation, at the starting point, there was nothing. Everything was vacant. Okay, that time what was existing was the intelligence. Even goddess Parvati, in Lalita Sahasranamam, goddess Parvati, when they describe the nature of goddess Parvati, they say Agilanda Kodi Brahmanda Nayagi. That means Agilanda Kodi means crores and crores or millions and millions of celestial structures, like the earth, like the sun, like the stars, like the moon, like the planets. We know only about 9 planets, but there are millions of planets in the universe. Okay, so all these things were created by the creator Lord Shiva under the instigation of goddess Parvati. But at that time there was only intelligence, because see, the goddess Parvati, Parvati or Shakti depicts action and Shiva depicts inaction. Inaction, stillness, no movement, stillness. Okay, that's why they say if you see a lethargic person, what, don't you have Shakti? Don't you have energy? The English term for Shakti is energy. Don't you have any energy? Why are you sitting like a vegetable like this? We used to comment, isn't it? So, Lord Shiva depicts emptiness, nothingness, stillness. Just the opposite is goddess Parvati, Shakti, energy, activity, always bubbling with activities. Okay, so at the time of the origin of the creation, there was intelligence, and you see, goddess Shakti or goddess Parvati's mind is the mind of the universe. Goddess Parvati's intelligence is the intelligence of the universe. So when the universe was created, there was only intelligence, no memory. But as creation progressed, as more and more things got created, this intelligence was passed on as their experiences, and this got stored in the form of genes, which we call as memory. So this is the beginning of the story. But what Sadhguru says is, okay, Lord Shiva is the creator, but what all the creatures, all the creations consider this memory as intelligence. I can give you a small example. See, whom do you consider as a scholar, as a great scholar? A person who has learnt so many things. And learning so many things means what? Everything is in his memory. So in the beginning it was intelligence converted into memory. But that is at the time of creation, at the time of the origin of creation. Whereas all the creatures, all the creations, all the plants, animals, human beings, now we consider the accumulation of memory as intelligence. You take a simple example. A 12th standard student is writing his exam for 3 hours. Based on his performance, marks are allotted. Okay, and you suppose a person is getting 100 out of 100 in maths. A student is getting 100 out of 100 in maths in 12th standard board exam. What do you talk about? You talk about his intelligence. He is a gem of a boy. He is a scholar. He is a prodigy. He is such an intelligent boy. So only he could get 100 out of 100. Not a single mistake. Now this intelligence is based on what? What he has been learning in his past 12 years. Yes or no? Whatever he has learned in all his school days, he remembered, he understood. So based on his memory, whatever he learned, he is writing in the paper. And teachers are correcting and they are giving the marks. Okay, you understand? So this is what he explains very clearly in his 5th chapter. And but again, in the same chapter, he is putting across a lot of questions for us to think. Okay, Sadhguru says, okay, so now you have understood what is meant by intelligence, what is evolution, what is passing on the experiences in the form of memories, everything is there. So their karma, our ancestors' karma, is inside us. Okay, now that means, is karma a dirty word? Same question he is asking. Is karma a dirty word? No. Is karma a burden to us? Is karma an obstacle in us? Is karma a curse for us? No. No. See, by making more and more negative karmas, we are getting entangled into the birth-death cycle and we are unable to come out of that. That is true. We do commit positive and negative karmas and we experience it. Okay, all those things are okay. But what he says is, this karma, what we are inheriting in the form of memory, is necessary. Don't discard karma as something bad, something useless, something as a curse. Don't think like that. See, that is also true. See, a baby is born. To the newborn baby, the mother starts feeding. How the baby suckles the milk? Have you observed it? You know, with its very tender tongue. It just presses so hard to get the milk out of it. Drop by drop the milk comes out. But for the memory, how the child could do, how the newborn baby, not the child, how a newborn infant can do this? It's only based on the memory of his past life. Isn't it? See, you think of a big banyan tree and you look at the seed. It is so small. You sow the seed and if everything, all the conditions are met, that small tiny seed grows into a huge tree. That means whatever is needed for the growth of the seed into a huge tree, everything is there inside the seed. Like that, all our ancestors' karma are within us in the form of memory. Okay, and that memory is needed. So let us not say karma is totally harmful and it is a curse and we should get rid of it. See, in a human being also, how the baby is going to grow into an adult, for how long he is going to live, for how long he is going to do so many things. Everything is inside, embedded inside the genes. It is already decided. And as and when the time comes, it blossoms. So, memory is not bad. Karma is not bad. Okay, it is necessary for our worldly life. Okay, so that's what he says. And Sadhguru we have already seen that he talks about karma having effect on the physical, mental and astral body. So these are the things he is going to describe in his part 2. I told you in the beginning, his book is divided into part 1, part 2, part 3. Part 1 consists of 5 chapters. We have seen all the 5 chapters. Now in the next video I will start from part 2, and that part 2 consists of 4 big chapters. First chapter is Karma Yogi, second is effect of karma on physical body, third is effect of karma on mental body, and the fourth is effect of karma on astral body. Don't you feel you should know about all these things in greater detail? That too from a mystic like Sadhguru? Yes. So travel along with me, watch all the videos, and don't stop with just watching. Try to implement it. Try to put it in practice. Try to implement it in your daily life. And before doing this book review itself, we have discussed a lot about the different types of karma. We have studied everything. And there is a video on Karma Yoga also. But here, let us see what this great saint has to, what this great mystic has to tell us about these aspects. Okay? So continue to watch and continue to implement it. Continue to evolve. Okay? Wish you all the best.